It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
Here comes Dunn across the timeline. Bounces it to Ivica Zubac. Looking for a Harden. Hands it off to him at the free throw line. Lobs. Big Zoo. Get up and throw it down. He trampolines and slams. Harden top of the key. Holds the ball outside the left kneecap. Collins comes to switch. Harden brings it to the right kneecap. With 10 on the timer. Switched on by Kessler. A step back three. String music. 27 for the Beard. Kevin Porter Jr. deals on the logo, crosses over twice, brings it to the right wing, feeds Bamba, straightaway three. Mo Bamba getting buckets! 18 Clipper three.
Highlights as the Utah Jazz get blown out by the Clippers right from the start. PK 44-20 in the first quarter, not competitive. 23 turnovers. James Harden lighting them up. Pretty much everything that could go wrong did. A team that's at or near the bottom in whatever defensive category you like. Turned in a lousy defensive performance. One loss closer to a high draft pick, I suppose.
All facts. Can't dispute any of it.
Unwatchable. How about that? You've been entertained by some defeats. That was ugly.
Harden, watching him go off was okay. I mean, if your entertainment is based on Jazz playing well, you didn't have it, but mine isn't.
Jazz stay out on the road now. They go to Detroit Thursday. Feel like they got to really focus on losing this one. This one might accidentally be winnable. Can't have that.
Oh, I think Detroit's way better than them.
Thursday, they're back in action. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
Now only 5 seconds on the reset. Maxey spins. Maxey drives. Cross court. Paul George. Three-pointer in the air. It's good. PG for three. Maxey with a kick. And Paul George with a corner three. And the Sixers go up by 11.
Murray goes to the left hand. Picks up his dribble. Back over to Jokic. Back over to Murray. For the game winner. Got it. 8.6 seconds to go. Denver leads by one.
Denver beat Sacramento 130-129. Nikola Jokic with the triple-double, 20 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists. Denver, a shadow of what they were in their title years, PK. Figured they're battling here to be sixth in the West, just stay out of the play-in and get to the playoffs, and that's the most we ought to expect out of them.
Too early for standings. We got to at least get to Christmas before I start concentrating on standings.
Third of the way through the season. We'll get to Christmas, though. Yeah, I passed on a quarter and 10% of the way through the season. The teams that are chasing the Jazz to the bottom, they got beat. Hornets are a 7-win team. Jazz are a 5-win team. Hornets lost to the Sixers 121-108. So that's win number 8 for the Sixers, expecting them to pull away.
You said that.
And another 7-loss team got beat. Toronto at home lost to Chicago 122-121. Nearly pulled it out with a 37-point fourth quarter, but managed to lose by one.
Don't want to pull it out.
NBA Cup final tonight. Bucks and the Thunder, 6:30 on ABC. Clear the decks. There's your NBA game for tonight. Greg Popovich released a statement thanking the community, the Spurs organization, and friends for their outpouring of support after the Hall of Famer suffered what the team has described as a mild stroke. November 2nd. Popovich, 75, continues on in rehab right now. And a name from your youth, Dick Van Arsdale, the first player in Suns history. After being their first pick in the 1968 expansion draft, passed away at the age of 81. Cause of death not disclosed. He was a 3-time All-Star. I don't know if he was still playing in Phoenix when you got there, but, man, the name had to resonate.
Well, actually, I got to know him a little bit on the scouting trail.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
When he was done playing. He was out at arenas.
Yes.
Bird dogging guys.
Yeah, and the Utes were good back then. And I can recall him asking me some questions about some of the guys.
Yeah.
Just, what do you know about him, that type of thing. So, I didn't see him play, but I got to know him, as I say, there. And I think he was the first player taken in the expansion draft. If I remember, it seemed like they always referenced the original Sun, and that was the guy. So he was beloved in the Phoenix area.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
Darnold, straight drop off play action to the end zone and touchdown! Justin Jefferson with a 7-yard touchdown from Sam Darnold.
Ritter on a straight drop now, up in the pocket, going to hang it for the end zone, and it is intercepted by Atlanta to end the game. Holy smokes. Your heart's in your throat when Ritter throws it in the end zone. And Jesse Bates has come away with the interception to end the ball game.
It's an interception. That's the end of the game.
Atlanta picking off a pass in the end zone as time runs out to beat the Raiders 15-9. The Raiders got it down there to the 35-yard line, threw it in the end zone a couple times, but ultimately lose, and the Falcons snap a 4-game losing streak. Keep alive their slight playoff hopes. They're a game behind Tampa. It could happen, although they've won 1 of their last 5, and that was an ugly win over the Raiders last night, but they've got a chance.
My heart stayed in my chest. It did not go to my throat as that ball was in the air.
Minnesota Vikings dominated the Chicago Bears 30-12, the final score there. The Vikings now 12-2, tied with the Lions for the division lead, tied with the Lions and the Eagles for the 1 seed. Who gets the bye in the NFC playoffs and who would get to host the NFC title game? Those three will battle it out over the last 3 weeks. Believe in Sam Darnold?
Right there with some of the best faith that I have.
Seattle Seahawks are optimistic that Geno Smith will be available on Sunday against the Vikings. He left their loss to the Green Bay Packers with a knee injury. He was able to walk up the tunnel on his own without any support or anything, but we'll see if he can go against the Vikings. They're upbeat. Patrick Mahomes dealing with a high ankle sprain he suffered Sunday in Cleveland, monitored and tested throughout the week to see if he can play against the Texans. Then they've got a Christmas Day game with the Steelers, so the game's coming quickly here for Kansas City as Mahomes tries to get healthy. 49ers suspended Devondre Campbell 3 games for his refusal to enter their game against the Rams, effectively ending his tenure with the team unless they make the NFL playoffs. Campbell's forfeiture of salary and fines could see the 49ers recoup nearly $1 million. And then they can let him go after that. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Isaac Wilson announced he'll be returning to Utah next season after entering the transfer portal. Looked around, and he's coming back to the U.
Yeah, I made a call on that. I think his dad was seeing maybe Mississippi State, some SEC stuff. And I think that the options had narrowed a bit, and this was his best option. And I had said that he thought that I thought that they spoke, that Kyle told him he can come back, and here we go. I don't think we've heard the last of him as far as what he can be based on this past season. I would put that out of your mind as you and we all make judgments. Oh, this player's good. That's the fun part of sports. He has an opportunity to have some good days. May not be next year, but he's still young enough.
FCS schools, Norfolk State and Sacramento State, have met with former NFL star Michael Vick about their head coaching positions. Vick has not been a coach, and he's been with Fox Sports as an analyst since his retirement, but maybe. Wake Forest coach Dave Clawson resigned his position with the Demon Deacons. He'll be an advisor with the university after 11 seasons on the sidelines. Clawson made 7 bowl games in his run. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Japanese pitching sensation Roki Sasaki remains on the market, garnering offers. The Baltimore Orioles added veteran Japanese player Tomoyuki Sugano on a 1-year, $13 million deal. Sugano, 35, has nearly 300 appearances on the mound in his 12-year career in Japan and a career 2.5 ERA. So bring him over to 35, see if the Orioles can get a little help in what should be a competitive AL East. You know much about him? I mean, Sasaki's been getting a ton of pub, but I don't know about Sugano. No. What is trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up, Fran Fraschilla, ESPN college basketball analyst, checking out the Cougars. He was in Provo last week. You'll hear from him, and Mike Fulte, Utah Hockey Club radio voice, joins us at 8:30. Utah getting back in action tomorrow night with Vancouver coming in. We'll talk with Mike coming up in a little more than an hour. DJ and PK, the question of the day is next, right here on The Zone.